Hi, today I thought we would do a beginner's yoga class where we begin to get to know our bodies a little bit more, do a little bit of movement and flow, and discover the wonderful magic of yoga. I personally love yoga, but I do really recommend that you try many different classes, different styles, different teachers to find who and what you connect with the most. I do believe yoga is for everybody, but it is about finding the type and the style of practice that you enjoy so that you can incorporate that into your life. So, without further ado, let's begin, shall we? Let's begin seated on our heels towards the back of the mat. I'm just going to straighten my mat out. And we're going to take our big toes together, and then we're going to walk our knees out as wide as the mat. From here, we're going to take our hands to the mat, and we're just going to allow them to walk along the mat, dropping our body down and bringing our foreheads to the mat for child's pose. Now, as we rest here in child's pose, I just wanted to mention that at any point in time, if you want to come back to this pose, it's always an option for you. If there's a pose that maybe doesn't feel so good for you, then just come back to this. Starting to lengthen through the spine here. And beginning to feel and turn on into those hip areas. Breathe in here, tuning into the breath. The breath is going to guide us through each class. We use the breath to get into the poses. Now from here, grounding down into the hands, we're going to lift our hips up and then walk our knees in under our hips for tabletop position. So you may need to adjust your hands a little bit, bringing them underneath the shoulders and making sure those knees are under the hips. And from here, we're going to drop our belly towards the mat, lift the hips, open through the chest and look up towards the sky. Exhale, round through the back, creating a rainbow shape with your back. Eyes are gazing down at the floor. Inhale, drop the belly, open through the chest, looking up. And exhale, round through the spine. Breathing here and moving with the breath. So inhale, open, exhale, round. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, rounding away. Coming back through center, long through the spine, and then walking the hands about a handprint forward, tucking the toes under. We're going to begin to lift our knees and our hips off the mat, sending them up towards the sky, creating a triangle shape with the body. So we're just going to look here and make sure our hands are shoulders distance apart and that our feet are hips distance apart. And then from here we're going to bend into the knees and we're just going to bend one knee and then the other, walking our dog a little bit. This is downward dog. So breathing here, walking the dog. Then really bend into the knees. Allow the hips to lift up towards the sky a little more. Lengthen through the spine and then begin to straighten through the legs. Breathing here. Bending the knees and take your gaze between your hands before stepping forward to find a halfway lift. And half lift, your fingers can be on the mat, on the shins or on the thighs. We're going to create a long spine from the tailbone out the crown of the head. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Taking your hands to opposite elbows, and we're just going to hold here, moving a little side to side in this forward fold.
Releasing the hands down, grounding into the feet, lengthening up through the legs, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rolling up through the spine. As you make your way up, allow those shoulders to roll up and down away from the ears. Palms turn face out towards the top of the mat. Tailbone gently tucked under for Tadasana. Now from here we're just going to gently rock forward and back slightly, and then really come to rest in the middle ground here, where you feel the most stable. Breathe in here. Then on your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips over the legs into a forward fold. Find that halfway lift, long through the spine, and then exhale over the legs. Grounding down into the feet, lifting up on an inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Dropping the hands down, opening up for Tadasana. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Find your half lift, long through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Releasing the hands down, Tadasana. We're going to add on this next round. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. Find that half lift. And then exhale, fold over the legs. Plant the fingertips on the mat and step the right knee back, right foot back. Lower the right knee to the mat. Becoming light on your fingertips and opening up through the chest. As we inhale, we're going to reach up overhead. Breathing here. Allow your shoulders to drop down and away from your ears. On your next exhale, we're going to sweep the arms down, leaning the chest over that left knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweeping. Good. Inhale, lift up, open through the chest. You might reach those arms back a little further, really open up here, and then exhale, plant hands on the mat. Tuck those back toes and step back through a plank position. So long through the body here, out the crown of the head, out the heels of the feet. Taking a breath here, then dropping the knees to the mat. Bringing those elbows in towards the body, we're going to drop the chest and the chin to the mat. Then push through, coming into a baby cobra. So hands are just beside the chest here, and we're just lifting our chest up off the mat. And we should be able to lift our hands off the mat and still be in this position. Exhale, lower down. Ground the knees into the mat and coming through tabletop. So you can tuck your toes and lift the hips up for down dog. Right leg lifts on an inhale and step it between the hands. If your foot doesn't make it between your hands, just take your ankle with your right hand and step it forward between the hands. Lower that left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. Light on the fingertips. Open through that chest. On your next inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Breathing here. Shoulders down away from the ears. On your next inhale, folding over the legs, sweeping the hands back. Lifting up. Sweeping the fingers.
And then lifting up. Good. Flowing with your breath. Moving as you breathe. One more time. And then lifting up. Open up a little bit more. Open through that chest. Where can you create space here? Planting the hands on the mat. Tucking those back toes and stepping forward. Find your half lift. Long through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. Reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding over the legs. Find your half lift. Then plant the hands and step the left foot back. Lower the knee. Lifting up, reaching the arms overhead. Sweeping the fingertips back. Lifting up. One more time, holding here. Then tucking those back toes, and we're going to lift our back knee off the mat. To do this, you can take your hands to that front knee and lifting up, and then sweeping the arms up overhead for high lunge. Exhale, leaning forward over that leg. Sweep the fingers back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Coming back through center, planting the hands on the mat and stepping back into plank. Lower the knees, bring the chest and chin down. Push through for baby cobra. Now this time we can come up into a higher cobra by grounding down into the hands, lifting up, opening through the chest. Exhale, back to down dog. Left leg lifts as you inhale, stepping it between the hands. Using that hand to get the foot up in between the hands if need be. Dropping that back knee, lifting up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, lift. Use your breath here. Allow it to guide you. One more time. Good. Now we're going to tuck those back toes. Bring the hands together on top of that left knee. Lifting that back knee off the mat. Lifting the arms overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Good. Use your breath. One more time. Lifting up and then plant the hands on the mat. Stepping that back foot forward to meet the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down through the feet, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. From here, we're going to walk our feet as wide as our mat. Keeping the toes angled towards the top of the mat, heels can come in ever so slightly. We're going to bend into the knees coming into a squat position. So you might just come to here, otherwise you might continue the journey downwards, coming into Malasana. If your heels are lifted, that's totally okay. You might just roll your mat up and plant it under you, or take a blanket and put it under you. Whatever feels good for you here. Good. Bringing those elbows to the inner knee, palms together in front of the heart. Breathing here. Then taking the hands behind you and lowering down onto the mat. Bringing the feet out in front of you. Bringing the soles of the feet together, opening at the knees for butterfly pose. Now you might walk the feet in a little closer or a little further away, just making this pose work for you. And then taking the hands to the ankles, and we're just going to begin to allow our butterfly wings to flap. And then finding some stillness through those legs as you inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, bringing those elbows to the inner thighs and folding over the feet. Allowing gravity to bring you in a little deeper as you breathe here. Now lifting up on an inhale, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat, arms coming out in front of you, and we're going to roll down the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back onto the mat. Taking that right ankle and crossing it just past the left knee here. Now this might feel like enough for you, and that is totally okay. Stay here if it does. If you want a little bit more, then beginning to walk that left knee into the chest. Taking the hands and clasping them around the back of that left knee. Breathing here. Getting into that right leg. Our legs have done a little bit of work, so it's a good idea to stretch them out. Releasing the clasp of the hands, bringing that left foot down to the mat, uncrossing the right foot, and then crossing the left ankle just past the right knee. Again, if this feels good to you, stay here. If you want to take the journey a little deeper, then bringing that right knee into the chest, taking the hands and clasping them behind the back of the right knee. Releasing the clasp of the hands and bringing that right foot to the mat. Left foot follows. Now walking the feet out as wide as the mat here, and then we're going to drop the knees to the right side, taking the arms out to a T for a gentle twist. Now our gaze is going to come out over that left hand. Breathe in here. Now if you want to take this one a little deeper, you might lift the right foot and just place that on top of the left knee. If you come into a posture that you've taken a little deeper and it doesn't feel that great, then that's okay, just come out of it again. Learn to listen to your body and what it's telling you. Release that foot off the knee, bring the knees up towards the center of the mat and dropping them to the left side, taking that gaze out over the right arm. Option to take it a little deeper by lifting that left foot and placing it on the right knee.
Uncrossing that foot, bringing the knees back through center. Bringing the knees into the chest and giving them a big hug. You might rock a little side to side here in this big hug. And then releasing the feet down to our mat. Walking the legs out long and allowing the feet to just drop open here. We're coming into Shavasana, which people often say is the easiest pose to do but the hardest pose to master. So allowing the feet to drop open, arms come down beside you, palms faced up. And Shavasana is a space for you to just let go and be present. So letting go of all the thoughts that are running through your mind, all the things that you have to do after class, what's happened in your day, just letting that go and just tuning into now. Allowing what will be, will be. Beginning to take some movements through the fingers and the toes, making those movements a little bigger through the wrists and the ankles. Then taking the arms and stretching them up overhead, really nice long full body stretch here, before bending the knees and rolling to your right side. Pausing for a moment to just find some space for some gratitude for something that's happened today, or for yourself for taking your yoga practice, and then making your way up to sit. Coming cross-legged to the front of your mat. And we're just going to take a lovely big inhale together, reaching our arms up overhead, bringing the palms together, and then bringing the palms down in front of the heart. I hope you have enjoyed this beginner's yoga practice today. If you did, then please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, or some breathwork, meditation, cooking, then hit the subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. See you next time.